Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
Is this our last episode of the year?
It is, absolutely.
Incredible.
Absolutely, in fact.
Incredible.
I think it's perfect that we're ending off with a Q&A because I feel like a lot of the questions involve like being a better person for the new year or like sticking to goals or things like that or like just being a better person.
I agree. And also some vain ones, which I love.
Well, it's interesting because I feel like with my last podcast, it was so advice-based that I just like assumed all the questions would be advice-based. And then when we got questions where people were just genuinely curious about us, I was like, wait, we just get to talk about ourselves?
I was like, oh shit.
I'm so excited about it.
Hello guys. My name's Gabby Sibaha.
And my name is Rhea Carmona, and this is So True Bestie, the first podcast ever started by two best friends.
You know what's so funny? We obviously called the podcast So True Bestie, but now whenever I say So True Bestie, like ironically, I think of the podcast.
Me too.
And I see people saying it.
Yeah, I say it all the time to like Kellen or to like friends and stuff like that, and I'll be like, after I say it, I'm like, you get it?
Wait, how are you? What's up? What's
I'm
happening?
It's been like, I think for both of us, for everyone I know actually, like the busiest week genuinely probably of the year.
I agree, and it's so crazy because it's the end of the year. You would think that everybody's just chilling.
Yeah, they will be next week, but I feel like that's why everything is so crazy this week.
Yeah,
Kellen has like 4 shows, and that has nothing to do with me, but like he's so busy, and like we've been trying to like plan things together around that. And I just have like all of my work things are just like coming to a head. I just did my last drop, like shipping all that stuff is still like a 2-day thing because I'm like doing it all by hand and stuff like that. So it's been good, but it's just been so busy, and like the idea of traveling is just like adds an extra weight.
I know. I feel that. I'm going to 2 Christmases, Wisconsin and Michigan, and
I'm going to 2 Christmases as well, Miami and Salt Lake City, and we're taking
farther,
extremely far. And not only that, but we're taking guava.
Oh, that
the whole thing.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And one of our flights is 6 a.m. Christmas morning. Like our flight leaves at 6 a.m.
on the 25th. I have a flight on the 24th.
Which is kind of nice because I actually feel like people don't fly those days.
Yeah, I agree.
Like our flights out are going to be the worst. Like the 19th and the 21st are the absolute worst days to travel.
Yeah.
But I feel like Christmas Eve and Christmas Day aren't bad.
Wait, you don't think Christmas Eve? I feel like mine's going to be a little fucked.
Maybe a little.
Yeah.
Mine's going to be chill. 6 a.m. Christmas morning.
But also coming back to LA is going to suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's get into the cheeky little fucking ins
Enough
and
about
outs.
us.
Well, more about us, actually.
Just in a different way.
Okay, should we do our ins and outs?
Let's do it.
Our
You go
last
first.
ins and outs.
Our last ins and outs of the year.
Okay, my in is mood boards. Every single year, we do a mood board for the upcoming year.
Yeah.
And I just finished mine, and let me tell you, it looks so slay.
Love that. I want to see it.
I love looking back on what I've accomplished, what I need to accomplish in the next year, how I've changed as a person. So if you haven't done a vision mood board, I suggest you do.
I love that.
And then my out is cool girls.
Ooh, elaborate.
I just like, I'm so, and no offense if this is you, I'm so sick of like boring hot girls. So sick of it.
Yeah.
You have to be, I don't know, you have to go through an ugly phase to develop a personality, I think.
Completely. And
being just hot doesn't cut it for me anymore.
You can tell when somebody hit their stride hotness wise later in their life and somebody who came out of the womb stunning.
Yeah.
I have never met an interesting person who did child modeling.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just like people are dogging on like Madeline right now. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Because she's like, I don't know I'm pretty. Like I literally don't know I'm pretty. And then she literally, her next sentence is, I started modeling when I was 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Girl, be so for real.
I agree.
You're dating Central C.
Yes.
You are literally famous for being a hot girl on TikTok and a model. You've been modeling since you were 2.
You know you're hot.
Come on. And that's okay. I know I'm hot. It just happened 6 months ago.
Yes.
But I'm there now.
But you know what? I would honestly, I'd rather be that. I would rather look at a picture of me from high school and be like, I was, a little ugly.
I love, this is so fucked up.
What?
I love looking at my before and afters. I love putting them next to each other. I love it. It's my favorite thing.
You know, in Princess Diaries, and they show the both.
Yes.
That's you.
That's me.
That's you.
I make my filler lady do it. It's her on one holding one.
You know what? They should do that for our TikTok.
They
like more
should.
offices should do that.
Wait, that's an incredible idea. Like a filler office?
Yeah.
Like reenacting Princess Diaries.
Yes.
This is why you are actually incredible at social media, even though you hate it. You are so good at it.
The average watch time would increase.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm just sick of cool hot girls. You can be cool and hot and like have a personality. Like I feel like people are so fucking just their fucking kryptonite is having a personality and laughing and like talking about poop.
Being silly.
Being silly.
What did you say last night about poop? It was so funny. It sent me.
Hot girls never laugh at poop jokes.
Yeah.
They don't. They just can't. They're like I hate a bitch who goes I'm done. I'm over.
Laugh with your chest.
Laugh with your chest. Have some conviction with your laugh.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I agree. It is not enough anymore.
I agree.
To just be beautiful.
You have to be hot and quirky.
And funny or silly or something or extremely intelligent.
Yes.
Maybe if you know, not everybody has to be funny.
Yes.
But you have to be something. You have to give me more.
Yes. Your reading score should be up if you're not funny.
Yes.
All right, what are yours?
So my in is weird piercings.
Yeah.
I used to be a real big hater of like face piercings, right? Not nose. Everybody has a nose ring, but I used to be a really big hater of any sort of like lip piercing,
Snake
any
bites.
sort of like snake bites, dermals, eyebrow piercings. And listen, sometimes I still get the heebie-jeebies by them, or I think they're like wrong for the wrong person. But this new trend of like girls having the middle lip.
Oh yeah.
That is so sexy.
Yeah.
It really it ignites my gay side hardcore. It's hot.
Okay.
A feminine girl who has like the tight huggy hoop middle.
Oh, okay, yes, I know what you mean.
That's
yes.
sexy, dude.
But how do you apply chapstick?
I don't know. I don't wear chapstick. Like a disgusting little rat.
Do you ever get dehydrated?
Yeah. I just flake.
You just
I
raw dog
peel them.
Oh
off.
my god.
I know. It's literally my most disgusting trait. Anyways, I've lifted the veil of my cuteness. Anyways, and then also I forgot who it was, but I recently saw somebody with an eyebrow piercing, and it made me less of a hater of them.
Was it the ball or was it the hoop?
Little spikes.
Oh, cute.
Teeny tiny little like almost like belly button ring style. Like a line with like two balls at the end.
Oh, like a little barbell.
Yes, like a barbell.
Got it.
Except it was teeny tiny and it had two little spikes at the end.
Okay.
And it's like...
And you were like, that's cute?
It was cute. It was so cute.
But at what age do you have to stop?
No, I'm over it. None.
Okay.
In fact, think about like a hot old guy. Who's like a hot old guy? Think of Flea.
Okay.
Flea would rock the shit out of that.
I agree.
So I think if you have like the right look and it's a confidence
yeah, you
thing.
kind of have to have the right look though. That's 100%.
I think, to be honest, I become less of a hater the more confident I become in myself.
Yeah.
And I used to be a big hater of facial piercings, and I think now I see it as like, oh, you're so confident and you like that, even though like people are gonna look at you a little differently, and that's hot to me.
But I also don't think that those people really give a shit what people think, which is kind of sick.
Which is hot.
Yeah.
So like it's almost not the piercing itself.
It's the confidence.
It's the confidence.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because you'd think that would change. Like you think in my 20s I would think that was cool, and then in my 30s I wouldn't. And it's the opposite for me. In my 20s I was like more of a judgmental little shit, and I was like, that's ugly.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, that's hot and confident.
You're like, do you?
I know. I love it.
Okay.
And honestly, I don't know, maybe I've been hanging out too many alt people lately, but like a hot, tall, skinny guy with an eyebrow piercing, I don't know what's been doing it for me lately. It's been really doing it for me.
This is a new era for you.
What if I made Kellen get an eyebrow piercing? I think he'd look good.
No, don't make him get an eyebrow piercing. Don't.
Okay, fine. My out.
Yeah.
This is going to be controversial for some, and I don't give a shit.
Okay.
My out, and I'll say it to her face, is Selena Gomez.
You know what? I unfortunately agree.
I don't like her energy. I'm sorry.
Listen.
I'm going to be a huge hater for a second.
Yes.
I'm sorry. She's fucking there are so many actual real things to be a hater about, but I'm going to start with the base level, most vapid one. She's fucking weird. She's off.
She has lupus.
I don't care. Oh, come on. Lupus my ass, dude. I'm not saying her lupus isn't valid, but lupus doesn't make you weird. I'm sorry. It doesn't change your personality, right? Am I tripping?
No. You're right. Here's the thing. There's a couple things about Selena. I think about it a lot, actually. Selena is like a Disney kid. Like, to me, that's homeschooled energy.
Absolutely. You're right about that.
She thinks that like memes that we thought when we were like 18 are funny right now. Like, her TikTok is whack. She needs a PR person on that stuff.
Yes.
Secondly, she's a Cancer, but not a good one. She's not a good one.
Manipulative Cancer.
She's manipulative and she's not good at it.
And she's a victim.
Yes. If you are going to be a Cancer, you have to be a manipulator that's healed, or you have to be like smarter at it, because it's not working. It's not working.
I completely agree. She's so weird, and she's such a victim in every situation.
Yeah.
And listen, I am talking out of my ass, right? I don't know this person in real life. I don't know the situation with like Justin and Haley, but I saw enough. I'm chronically online enough to see how much she like pretends that she doesn't care, but then like does these things that are, it's obvious she does, or does these things that she knows is going to bring hate to Haley. And listen, I don't fucking know Haley. Maybe Haley is like a mean girl, but no woman deserves the vitriol that Haley gets just for like dating her celebrity crush. And I feel like if Selena was an actual good person, she would just come out and say it with her chest.
Yeah.
And be like, we're all adults, they're married, leave, and no going around, no not naming names, leave Haley alone and leave me alone about it. And let us all move the fuck on. She won't say anything with her chest, and it fucking bothers me.
Also, she's dating this new guy and she's going so to bat for him, and it's so icky. It's so icky. Have you seen that?
No. Who's she dating?
She's dating Benny Blanco, who's like a...
Actually, she's dating him?
Yes. She's dating Benny Blanco, and she posted a picture with him, and she's been replying to fans being like, I don't care. This is the love of my life. He owns my heart. He owns my heart.
Girl, you are the most followed person on Instagram, and you're replying to hate comments?
And she goes, sorry, I will never be with a fuckboy again. First off, you're 30. Do not use the word fuckboy ever again in your life. Fuck man. Also, you dated this man. You dated Justin Bieber when you were like 20. Listen, I don't know you personally.
Get over it.
I love your blush. I'll be the first to say I love your blush.
I love Rare Beauty. I do.
Sue me. But the owner, she needs to just like, she needs to be less of a victim. That's the overall problem. Yeah. That's what this comes down to. She cannot be a victim of life.
Yes. And listen, I'm not going to get political right now. But her refusal to stand on business when it comes to things that are black and white, fucking morally wrong and right. And then when people call her out on it, she's like, I just want everybody to get along. That's not the fucking world we live in right now.
And she goes, I need a social media break.
Right. Because your life is so fucking, I'm sorry she has lupus. I'm sorry that like, I'm sure being a Disney kid was like hard and fucked up to be in Hollywood at that time. I don't care anymore. I don't like her, and I don't like her energy, and I think she's like low-key mean girl, and like she's a sheep in wolf's clothing. I don't like it.
Yeah, I actually agree. And this isn't to say that like we're siding with Haley. I actually don't give a fuck. Honestly.
I don't give a fuck about this. Has nothing to do with Haley. This is a Rhea versus Selena problem. Straight up.
The 2023 feud between Rhea and Selena Gomez is crazy. No, but you know what? You're right. And I think that like it's good to see celebrities as humans that you could see in your everyday life. And Selena Gomez is a hater to her core.
Selena Gomez is the kind of person that like the kind of person I was in middle school. I've gentrified myself, but the kind of person I was in middle school, I would have fist fought Selena Gomez.
Oh shit.
Selena Gomez has never been hit in her life, and it shows.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. That's a good out.
Sorry.
And you know what? I do think that the world is starting to agree with you.
Good. Fucking good.
Yeah.
I'm tired of these people who have so much influence and do nothing with it but sit around and talk about how much they need a social media goddamn break.
Yeah. Here's a PR thing that I would do for Selena. I would take the break. I'd come back and be like, you know what? I was tripping. I was going through it and I was doing bad, and now I'm back and I'm donating $1 million from Rare Beauty to the cause at hand.
Exactly.
Anyways,
I feel like I have a weight lifted off my chest.
I know.
I feel so much better.
That sigh was crazy. You're staying up at night being like, I can't stand that puta. I can't stand her.
Straight up. God. As our last episode of the year, we're doing a Q&A. We had you guys submit questions. We've done Q&As before, and not for this podcast specifically, but in general, other podcasts and stuff, and YouTube. And one thing we noticed was that we had a theory that we were getting less questions because you had to submit them via Instagram, and it might be hard to ask a question that's a little bit like embarrassing, or you just don't want to attach to your public social media profiles. Not that we give the names anyway, but still. And so Gabby had the incredible idea to do an anonymous Google form, and so we had you guys submit, and then we got tons of questions. So we're going to kind of go through them. Some are going to be advice, some are going to be about us, and I'm ready to get into it. Are you?
Amazing. I'm ready. I have so many interests. How do I know which one to pursue? I feel like every field, especially in the creative realms, is oversaturated these days and ultra competitive. I'm not sure if I should let this steer my decision or if I should focus on giving back to the community via service, education, or nursing. What should this logo do?
So the first thing I want to say to this person, I think oftentimes people who are younger, maybe lack confidence, maybe have just moved to a big city to do something creative. Their biggest hindrance is that they get it in their head that creative fields are oversaturated.
Yeah.
There are 7 billion humans on this planet. Every single job, creative or not, is oversaturated. I just Googled it. 28,500 doctors graduate every year.
Damn.
But you're worried about being a fucking creative director being saturated?
I was actually talking to somebody about this last night. I've been getting into a more creative direction.
Yeah.
And when I moved here to Los Angeles, I don't know what the fuck I was doing.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to like be a writer or something. And I was talking to him and he was like telling me how he's kind of going through the same thing, how like it doesn't feel right to say that you're a creative director if you've only done 2 projects a year or something like that. And at the end of the day, you are what you want to be. You can be also like 2 things. I have a day job and I'm also a creative director.
You are 3, 4 things.
Yes. It's okay to not know exactly where your path is right now, but stick your hand into everything then.
Yeah.
Go to school for nursing if you're somebody who needs like a plan B, if you're somebody who gets anxious about that, but also take that job at an agency.
Or ask somebody if you can, on like a weekend, if you can shadow them.
Yeah. Yes. Or just like make shit that's creative every day after work. Like you can use both muscles at the same time. Not like, doesn't mean you're not creative if you're a teacher. It doesn't mean you're not creative if you're a nurse.
Yeah. And it's also okay to change your mind. Like, Kellen, for example, Kellen is the kind of person, like you just said, who kind of needs a plan B, right? Like, Kellen was taking classes for university on the tour bus for tours where he was like selling out the Palladium, right? He's very like that. He needs a plan B. And this week, literally, he was like, I kind of want to quit school. Like, I've now been doing it for a while. I'm doing it slowly, but I've been doing it for a while. It's not fulfilling to me. It's not fun. All it does is add more stress and take away from the things I want to be focusing on. And to be honest, even if I finished, I just don't think I would ever use it. And I'm like, fucking quit.
Yeah.
It's so easy. Just quit.
It's okay to change your mind at any point of your life. I feel like with this question, like you're saying you have so many interests, and I feel like you're so stressed about which one to pursue. Just try things.
Yeah.
Just try things. Tomorrow you'll maybe wake up and be like, I actually don't want to like be an actress, or I actually don't want to go to school for teaching. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that you're young and it's cool that you like care so much about your future, but like, I don't know. I just don't think that there's a timestamp on anything. I'm turning 30 and I just decided to like start a business or like be a creative director. You just started your jewelry company and you're 30. Like, I don't really believe in, oh fuck, now I'm in this world and I have to stay in this world.
Absolutely
type
not.
of mindset.
I'm a big advocate for quitting, actually.
I love quitting.
Me too.
I'm a big quitter. All right.
Next question.
Okay. How do you know that your partner is the one?
You don't. There is no one. We talked about this in our last episode. But I'm of the firm belief that it's less that you know your partner's the one, and you know when you meet someone that you want to work hard to be with them. Yeah. That you want to make it work. I feel like I've been with people and at like the first sign of trouble, I'm out. And maybe there's an argument to be made that I used to be a little bit of like a runner and that's on me. But I also think there's an argument to be made that like that person just like wasn't fulfilling me enough that I wanted to work on those hard things. Yeah. And then it's like I met Kellen and we've gone through my highest highs, my lowest lows. And I have never faltered from still thinking that he's who I want to end up with at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's more so about like, I would rather fight with Ryan for 4 months straight than to be with someone else.
Yeah.
And I think there's not really a one. You just, who do you want to water? Yeah. Essentially.
Exactly. And so I think you'll know when things are hard. You'll know when things are hard, but there is no sense of you that wants to actually leave, that's the person that's worth watering.
That is so true, bestie. That's crazy. Okay, next question.
Wait, I have one more thing to say. Okay. I have a lot of friends who are dating right now. I feel like we're talking from the, you're married, I'm engaged. But I have friends who are dating right now. If you, after months of hanging out, seeing each other multiple times, dates, bringing them around your friends, sleeping together. If you're still on the fence, it's not your person.
I agree.
I'm sorry.
You said something so important to one of our friends one day. You said, if it's not a hell yes, it's a no.
Yeah.
Type of thing, where it's like, you also don't have to be fucking 100% about this person, but there has to be more of a fuck yes than a uneasiness.
Yes, absolutely.
Your gut is always looking out for you.
Absolutely.
And that's that on that.
And that's that on that.
This might be a tricky one for us.
Oh my gosh, okay.
What's the secret to longevity in friendship? Have you guys ever had a difficult moment in your friendship? And how did you get past it? I'm struggling with a friend right now who doesn't see eye to eye with me.
Wow. Off the bat, my instinct is to say you can almost take the advice we just gave.
Yeah.
For the last question. It's like who you want to water, right? Like we have had very hard, like I think a lot of times
we've had screaming matches.
People see us as like this aspirational friendship, and I think that's because like obviously I've never like put on my Instagram like I'm fucking fighting with Gabby this week. That's craziness. Yeah. So people just see our good side, and we are very lucky. We are 95% of the time those people. Mm-hmm. But there's never been a point where I like didn't want to be your friend anymore. Like even at our hardest, it's like, and that's saying a lot for me because I can be a runner. I've never not wanted you in my life.
Listen, even if we've been friends for what, like 9 years?
Yeah.
There's going to be ebbs and flows where you're more connected or you're focused on other things. Yeah. There has never been a moment in my life where I'm like, I don't want Rhea in my life. There has never been that thought in my head. There's been moments where I'm like, fuck, like we're just not seeing eye to eye right now.
Yeah.
But all I'm going to say is the secret to longevity for me is communication and like understanding. I feel like whenever we've had our difficult moments, we've always communicated it. Yep. Or we've been like, this isn't really working for me. We should kind of reassess how the friendship is going right now.
Yeah.
We've had 2 major fights
in 9 years.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah. But they have been big.
They were huge. They could have ruined a lot of friendships.
Yes. But I think that I'll speak for myself. In those fights, the thing that meant the most to me is that like there's still so much love, but we both valued each other's points of views. Yeah. And communication.
Absolutely. And I think that there have been times too where we both like, we're humans, right? And we're different humans. So like there are going to be times when we don't see eye to eye or where I do something that you don't really fuck with or vice versa. But I think that I've never doubted that you were a good person. You've never doubted that I was a good person. And I also think that like, have we had low moments? Yes. But I don't think either of us have ever been like bad to each other. You know what I mean?
Didn't I just ask you like, I asked you, could you see a world where we're not friends? And you said no, because we're not bad people.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's
or we're not evil.
I hear these people oftentimes like, doing like story times or whatever on TikTok or talking about how like they lost a friend. And it always seems like that person like genuinely didn't have their best interest in mind. Like, or was being self-serving or looking out for number one or wasn't like respecting them. And like, that's never been a problem for us.
Yeah.
We've had like outside issues. We have issues where we just like didn't see eye to eye or like I was at a low moment or you were at a low moment. But there's never been a time where you did something where I was like, damn, that was fucked up. Like that was like bad person energy.
Yeah, I agree. It's always been like a misunderstanding. Yeah. But if you're not seeing eye to eye with your friend, honestly, and you've communicated this, let's say in this world you have communicated it, and they just aren't really working with you, then maybe it's just time to put that friend on ice or just to like kind of revisit it in a few months.
Yeah. Time always gives clarity. If you go a week without talking to them and you really miss them and the issue starts to like feel like less and less of a big deal. Like I'm the kind of person who things feel like a really big deal right when they happen.
Same.
And if in a few days it feels like that much of a big deal still, it's probably valid. And if I've had some time to calm down and I'm like, I don't know why I was tripping so hard. You know what I mean? Sometimes time just gives you the clarity you need.
I also think that if you're the one who's fucked up in the relationship or friendship or whatever, it's okay to lick your wounds and be like, I'm so sorry. Yeah. I was being shitty.
Yeah. That's one thing too. I think I'll give us props. We've always been pretty good at like owning when we have fucked up and been like, that was shitty. I'm sorry.
I agree. And honestly, that's how you grow as a person. Damn, we really are bestie goals.
We really are.
Okay, this one's for you. Best search terms for online secondhand shopping.
Oh. Okay, so if you have time on your hands, like I do, I don't like when I'm searching on eBay or Poshmark, I don't like to search the word vintage. Because vintage to me...
Is it oversaturated?
No, it's less that. It's vintage to me tells me that the seller on some level knows what they have. The best vintage I have found are from the sellers who are like, this is from the early 2000s. This was in my closet. I'm cleaning it out. But they're not considering it vintage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're just doing a spring cleaning.
Yes. So take out any word that is like hyped. If you are using terms like vintage, if you are using terms like Y2K, if you are using terms like coquette, anything like that, you are going to find items that cost more, because if somebody is using those terms, they are using them for a reason. It's because they know that the thing they have is trendy and good.
Yeah, that's true.
If I'm looking for example, kitten heels, I will literally search kitten heels. And yes, you're going to get 10,000 things, but then you put it down by pre-owned, and then you put it down by size, and then you put it down by like, I don't want to buy things that are in other countries. And then it's really not that hard to kind of go through. Yes, it takes a little bit of like looking through, but so does thrifting, you know?
I was about to say, I feel like people like, you post a lot of hauls online, and I feel like people think that like, oh fuck, she just gets so lucky at like shopping online, but you sit on that couch for hours sometimes looking through every single page to see what pops up.
And partially it is luck, but honestly, most of that's just math. If you look long enough, you'll find something good.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And so, yeah, the people that I know are like the best at thrifting, the best at secondhand, are just really dedicating the time. And not everybody has that time, and that's fine. And it's also fine if you just know exactly what you want and you don't mind throwing a little extra cash at it. If I find something that I love that's like at the higher end of the price, but I can't live without it, I swallow my pride and I accept the fact that I'm paying a pretty hefty finder's fee. But if you really want the deals, you have to put in the time, and you have to search online the same way that you'd search through a fucking bin at the Goodwill bins.
Yeah.
And you have to look through 50 shitty things to find one good thing.
That's honestly great advice.
Thank you.
I'm entering my vintage era, so that's going to help me.
And I love it.
Okay. We might differ on this one.
Okay.
My boyfriend and I recently both decided it was best that we ended things after 3.5 years. But after talking about it a few days later, we decided to give it another try. How would you go about restarting the relationship after essentially breaking up? How the hell do I navigate this? We broke up because we weren't meeting each other's needs, but we both talked about how we can fix this. We love each other. I'm just so confused. Help.
Boo.
Rhea.
Sorry. Why are you getting back to, what? I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm going to be nicer. Give me a second. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to boo you. I didn't mean to boo your relationship.
That was your intrusive thought.
That was my intrusive thought. I'm going to keep it in the episode, but...
This is a real person.
Okay. Listen to me. We're definitely going to have different views on this.
We are.
And I can understand that I'm not the most romantic person sometimes, and I can be a little bit logical when it comes to love. But with that being said, 3 years is a long time. That is a long relationship. Some people
3.5.
3.5 years is a long relationship.
You know each other very well.
We were so intimate. If after 3.5 years, something compelled you both to agree that it is time to end it, I have to admit, my gut instinct reading this question is, if after a few days you decided to get back together, that to me just feels like you are comfortable with this person, and it was easier to get back together than to sit in the uncomfortability of not being with the person that you are used to being around for the past 3.5 years.
Yes.
I think that there is and again, I don't know the whole situation, of course, but surface level, if you had said, hey, we were together for 3.5 years, we broke up for a year, we found our way back to each other, we want to get back together, I'd be on board. A few days to me is the red flag, because what I'm thinking is the few days after a breakup are the absolute hardest. You'll fold so easily.
Yeah, you're crying up a storm.
I have had partners that I like look back now and I know I shouldn't have been with, and I didn't even like that much. But in the 48 hours after they broke up with me, if they called me and asked to get back, I would have folded. Yes. And I think that is less because I thought that we actually wanted to make it work, and more because I was looking for that validation. I was scared. I was alone, and I wanted my person. And I understand that, I empathize with that, but I think you both need to really think about why you ended it in the first place and why you are trying again. Is it because you had some insane moment of clarity over the past 48 hours where all of the problems that made you break up are all of a sudden not that hard? Or is it because you just are comfortable with this person and you're scared and it's easier to stay together than it is to accept the fact that maybe it's time for the next chapter in your life?
Listen, we don't actually super disagree here. I do think that it's a red flag that it's just been a few days. I do think that if you go through something this big, you should at least take a month off.
Yeah.
At least.
At least.
In that same breath, though, I will say, as somebody who's been in a relationship for 6 years, sometimes you stop dating each other. Sometimes you get so comfortable, like you said.
Yeah.
And you just like aren't meeting each other's needs. But I think the big problem here is that there was no communication when you both started feeling those things. If you don't feel like your partner's meeting your needs, like for me, this is advice even just going forward if you decide to not be with this person. You have to communicate right then and there that you are not feeling fulfilled.
Yes.
It can't get to this big point where you're both resenting each other.
Yeah.
And that's what breaks. What's the saying that breaks the camel's back?
The straw that breaks the camel's back.
Exactly.
Yeah. The biggest thing I've learned in couples therapy is I cannot expect Kellen to read my mind.
Yes.
And I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that.
I say that to Ryan all the time. I say, communicate because I don't know what's going up here. We're both different people. There's a saying actually that goes, we're both talking right here. You can see this wall and I can see that wall, but we don't see the same thing. We have different perspectives, and it's always so important to remember that. And I feel like with this specific situation, just for the sake of giving different advice, I would say take off a couple months and decide like what your dream relationship looks like. And if in a couple months you still really miss this person and you think that you can make it work, fuck it, try again and maybe get into couples therapy. But don't expect such a different change if nothing changes. You can't go back to like how the relationship was, because in 6 months you'll be like, fuck, nothing has really changed.
And I wasted another 6 months of my life.
Exactly.
I agree. I think surface level, like baseline advice, I think you guys need a little more time apart. And you can even set boundaries. That's okay. You can say, we're not going to date. We're not going to, be super active on social media. But I do think you need more time apart than a few days.
I agree. A few days is just like, I miss this person.
Yes.
And like, of course, you're going to miss that person.
Yeah.
But maybe that's also a great lesson in codependency. I just discovered my queerness at 25 and I'm in a relationship of 4 years with a man. Will I regret not exploring that side of myself? We're talking about getting engaged. That is a dilemma, I will say.
I have a cautionary tale for you.
Cautionary tale.
I know someone who was in a relationship for 8 years.
With a man?
Heterosexual relationship.
Okay.
They got engaged. Beautiful engagement. Long engagement, like 6 months, planned a big, huge wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Very traditional wedding. Got married. 6 months later, divorced. She realized she was queer.
So is it really realizing you're queer, or is it suppressing?
In this situation, she had always been, I sort of misspoke. She had always been queer, but she realized she was gay.
Got it.
But from what I know of the story, she didn't really get to explore her queerness because she was with her partner for 8 years. That's, you know what I mean? And
so much of her 20s.
I think a lot of time was wasted because she didn't get to explore that side of her. And by the time she realized she was gay, she had wasted 8 years. Not wasted, I'm sure there were good times, but like, this is a detrimental thing.
Yeah, I feel like the way this question is worded, you're clearly not fulfilled.
If you're asking the question, something is missing. In
whatever aspect. And I think that I'm a firm believer in like your partner will always understand if they are who they say they are and they love you and they want the best for you. I would approach it as, I'm having these feelings. I need to kind of explore this in case, 10 years down the road, I resent you and then we have a kid and it gets messy and I don't know. I don't want to hurt you. Before we get engaged, I need to explore this because you owe it to yourself too. And honestly, you're kind of doing this person a favor as well by exploring that. What if it's just a thing that you have to try out and then you come back and you're like, this is the love of my life. I want to get engaged. And what if it's not? Like, you have to, even if you're in a relationship, you have to put yourself first.
I agree. I think it's going to be a hard conversation, but I do think it needs to be brought up with your partner. And I do think, listen, something like this, relationships are like snowflakes. They're all different. And a conversation like this and whatever you decide to do moving forward is going to look different for everyone. For some people, it's going to be as simple as, okay, I'm chill with that. I'm not going to go out and hook up with anybody else because this isn't my journey and this isn't tit for tat. But you obviously need to. We can still date. I'm here. And we can be sort of open, one-sided open, and you can explore it. And my boundaries are that I want to know before you hook up with someone, and that after 6 months, I need a decision on if you're ready to close it back up and be with me or not. You know, those conversations look different for everyone. So I don't know how the conversation is going to go with yours. Maybe it's we both are open. Maybe it's we take a break and we don't date for 6 months. There are so many options. I'm saying this I'm trying to be less scary and more hopeful. There are so many options for how you can navigate this. And if you have a loving partner who's understanding, they will help you navigate that, and they will help you figure out a way that works for yourself and for them and makes everybody comfortable.
And also how exciting that you just found this out about yourself, and you get to explore and you get to see the side of yourself and hopefully feel more fulfilled in your life. Like, isn't that just life? Isn't that just like the fun of life, to see what you like and what you don't like, and you're allowed to switch it up, and you're not the same person you clearly were when you first started dating this man, and maybe you're just a little bit more confident, and that's okay.
And on the other side of my cautionary tale, I know people who are engaged, who are literally in the process of possibly having a child, who are one of the happiest, most healthy couples I've ever known, and they've been together for years, but guess what? They also took a 6-month break because she wanted to explore her queerness, and she explored it, and she loved every second of it. But at the end of the day, she realized her original partner was her person. So, you know, there are so many ways that it can go, but you owe it to yourself and to your partner to explore the side of you.
So get out there, girl. Do your thing.
Go piss, girl.
Go piss, girl. Okay. So this person wants to know our typical daytime or nighttime or both routines. I'm kind of anal about my routines. Oh, I'd actually be interested to see how our routines differ.
Yeah, like daily routines?
So, like, I think for me, this person's asking, like, okay, so I wake up, what do I do?
Okay.
Okay.
Do yours first, because mine's going to be a little crazier. More
I wake up.
Kooky.
And I will say I have gotten a little crazier after COVID.
Okay.
I don't look at my phone.
Love that.
The sun hits my window immediately, and through a podcast, I learned about how important it is for your circadian rhythm to reset every day. It's good to see the sunlight right when you wake up. So I actually like immediately, I'll check if I have texts just to see that I've not missed an emergency, but I'm not really a scroller. I'll get up, take a big fucking glass of water because your brain's dehydrated in the morning, look at the sun. I start every day being like, this is a good day. This is going to be a good day. Which is something I have to force myself to say. And I get up and I eat my little breakfast. I don't get right into work. Thankfully, I work for myself, so I don't really have to. And then I take my vitamin D. I take my fish oil and I eat my little breakfast. If I have time, I'll go outside and do a little walk to get my little heart rate going. And then I'll get to work. And that's my daytime routine. And then my nighttime routine, I have my phone on red light after 9 p.m. because it's really bad for your eyes to see blue light after a specific time. And it just helps reset your circadian rhythm. I do my little Duolingo. I take my magnesium. I sometimes journal. I'm not very good at it. I try to meditate, but I'm not a meditator. I'm going to be honest. I find meditating boring. I meditate in different ways. I'll like do the dishes and like have a moment to myself, or like work on a craft or something. And I usually just, I work on my crafts until bedtime. Okay. I have tried recently to not watch shitty reality TV before bed because I just found that it like makes me like, it's fun to watch, but it makes me like stressed and anxious, and I don't really like that.
Love that.
Yeah.
Mine is the complete opposite. Anything healthy that she just said, I don't do. My phone has been on 100% brightness day mode since I got my first iPhone.
That is a crazy thing about
every
you.
app is day mode. I've never had night mode on my phone.
I'm a night mode girl,
and I have never turned the brightness down.
Wait, let us know below if you're a night mode person or a day mode person.
I think most normal people are a night mode person.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't say I scroll first thing in the morning, but I definitely check my texts, check my email, check to see how much money I've made.
But before you go on, I will say you're more neurotypical.
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I definitely need less sort of like rules or structure in my life to still feel like I've, had a good day. Callan's the same way as you. He sort of needs to like implement things like that. So I don't like full on scroll. I'm definitely not like scrolling Instagram or anything, but I definitely am on my phone for like the first 10-15 minutes. I am extremely privileged that I do not have to be up at a certain time most days unless I have like an appointment. So if I don't have anywhere I need to be, I kind of like chill in bed, cuddle Guava and Callan. I'm still usually up pretty relatively early. I do a similar sort of like pseudo meditation, which is the first thing I do when I wake up is I get out of bed, I go into the kitchen, I start the coffee maker, and while the coffee is being made, I sit crisscross on my kitchen island and I ice roll my face while I drink a glass of celery juice, and I don't have my phone on me, and that's kind of like my like few minutes to just like ponder the day. I started doing a glass of celery juice every morning before anything else on an empty stomach, and I have never seen so many skin benefits so quickly from something, so highly recommend. After I do that, after my coffee's made, I have breakfast. I do it. I am usually on my phone the entire time I have breakfast, or I'm reading, one or the other, but I'm definitely like stimming. I'm doing some sort of stimulation while I'm having breakfast. And after I've had breakfast and either kind of like set myself up for the day on my phone or like read a chapter of a book, I have no routine because it's completely different every day. I'm very lucky in that sense. So some days, it's making jewelry, and some days it's making content. Some days it's thrifting and sourcing. Some days it's chilling, frankly.
Some days it's chilling.
Some days it's literally chilling all day. And yeah, some days it's just like appointments and stuff like that. I feel like I have a lot of like long-standing appointments. Like I'm in the process of getting allergy shots, so I do those like twice a week. I have to be in Beverly Hills for that. So like my routine is totally different, but it usually always starts that same way. And then at night I watch a lot of reality TV. But it affects me differently. It's kind of my way to shut off my brain. It's sort of like my white noise almost. And I also just love reality TV, and it's a way for me to like bond with certain friends. I have certain friends that like love reality TV as much as I do. Certain shows you and I have, Christy and I have a ton of those. So I'll like at night, I can be a very, very, very bad texter and communicator. So a lot of times at night when I'm like in bed watching reality TV, it's like enough of like a background show that I can like catch up on being like a good friend and like texting people back at the end of the day or whatever, making sure my group chats are fed.
You forgot your vitamins. You're a big vitamin taker.
I am. That's true. Yeah. I haven't been great lately, but I take them just with breakfast. I'm big into
all of them.
Most of them. Yeah. I like parcel them out throughout breakfast though. Like I'll do like a few right in the morning, and then I'll do a few like halfway through breakfast, and then I'll do a few at the end of my breakfast. But I do most of them during the day. Big on magnesium as well. Big on my daily pre and probiotic.
I have to incorporate a probiotic.
I'm big on that. I like the Air ones.
Yeah.
Big on my omega-3s. Anyways, and then my night routine, I usually like wind down with TV, make dinner, smoke weed always. It's very helpful for my appetite. I have like a naturally low appetite, so it's very helpful. And then I've been really into my nighttime skin routine, so I've been spending a lot of time on that. And I always,
which is also a form of meditation, I will say.
Definitely. I do my like red light therapy every night, bonnet my hair, and go to bed.
I love that. We're not so different, you and I.
You're right. Maybe some cheeky sex.
Yeah, honestly.
Although Kellen's a big afternoon sex guy.
So is Ryan.
It's hard for me though. I'm a
nighttime gal.
If I'm like in my routine, I'm not like.
Yeah, and I have ADHD. You can't get me out of that.
Yeah.
Last question.
Okay.
What's one product of whatever that you discovered in 2023 that you love, or like a thing that you do?
Oh, that's such a good one. Do you have an answer?
Yes.
Go first.
I have switched from daytime. In the daytime, I use brown eyeliner and brown mascara. I'm wearing it right now. It just softens your features, but it still gives you something to put on your eyes to make them pop.
Love that.
And especially for like darker eyes or bigger eyes, I've noticed that it's done a huge difference. Like even right now, I'm wearing brown eyeliner, brown mascara, and I just like, I feel fresh.
Yeah.
I feel clean.
I love that. Mine's also beauty related, and it's gua shaing. Gua shaing's been big forever, but I have noticed physically this year that lymphatic drainage is very important for my body. I can be naturally sort of like puffy and inflamed. I have rheumatoid arthritis, and I sleep on my face, and I have really bad allergies. So I'm just like a naturally inflamed person. And treating myself to like a very fancy, like full body lymphatic drainage at a spa every few months. But then in general, just like facial massages and gua shaing, I do it every single day. And I am very bad at beauty routines, but it's one that I do every day. I have 2 gua shas. I keep one in the shower. And so I do it while I'm washing my face, just with the soap on my face. And then if I'm getting ready at nighttime, I do it with my serum. So it's just kind of like part of my makeup routine. It's not like anything special. And if for some reason I don't have my gua sha, I am just doing a facial massage with my fingers. But facial massages, lymphatic draining, dry brushing has been huge for me physically, well-being wise, and also looks wise. I feel like I look more snatched than ever. I am much less puffy. I just feel better throughout the day, and I feel like I look better, and it's been huge for me.
Dry brushing is actually so good if you have anxiety as well. It just obviously exfoliates your dead skin cells, but it also stimulates blood flow. So for us anxious minds, it's a really good way to start your day.
Love that. Look at that.
Look at us.
Look at us.
Look at us. Our first year of the pod. What do you have to say?
Podcast. It's been the best year of my life.
Honestly, me too.
I know that sounds insane. It sounds like a joke, but I actually think 2023 has been the best year of my life.
I got engaged and married.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
And started a podcast with my best friend.
Started a podcast with my best friend. Started my jewelry company. Bought a house. Kellen and I are in the best place we've ever been. Money wise, I feel the most like secure that I've ever been. Mental health, body dysmorphia wise, like I just absolutely have had the best year of my life, and a big part of that has been this podcast.
Yeah, I feel like I've grown too so much. And
yeah,
just like healing,
a lot of healing. Look at us.
And I hope that you had a great year, and that 2024 brings nothing but slayness, bestiness, and growth.
Yeah, and thank you so much for supporting our little endeavor. Hopefully it becomes a big endeavor, but I'm just happy to be here.
Me too, man.
We are still very small, but the few messages and DMs we've gotten from people that are grateful to us is
it literally
insane.
Makes me so happy. I'll be reading the DMs and I'll be smiling. Yeah. Like I can't believe that people are saying these things about us, or when people say like it feels like a FaceTime, or it feels like I'm talking to my friends. We send each other screenshots. We'll be like, look at what this person said.
Yeah.
It's just so cute and cool to be supported and to have our friendship kind of outwardly shown.
It feels like we're building a little community. It makes me very happy. So
I can't wait to see what 2024 brings us.
I know. We love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting. Don't forget to leave this podcast a good review if you enjoy it. Leave us a comment if you're watching on YouTube, and we'll see ya.
Happy holidays.
We'll see ya.
Bye.
Bye.